Now, the reason for that problem that I just described, before I accidentally ended the video instead of pausing it, is again because of that thing with the territory squares. If you switch them on, then you can see what you need to avoid. You need to carefully drag along and avoid the corner of the skeleton forest box there. So you just need to be really carefully dragging along the river to get it to work. But you may find it easier at times with movements along rivers to just type it out manually. Scroll back. Now for the most important mouse mode. Generate movement. You can use this mode to use a mouse-driven interface to more quickly and easily than ever before generate your fully formatted, for my purposes I might add, movement commands, rather than having to type them all out the old-fashioned way. Now, these white overlays indicate territories containing troops, or siege weapons, or RPs, or whatever, which in the current month have not moved. That is, which you have not yet given an order to move in this interface. The white overlays can sometimes be a bit easier to see if you turn icons off for a moment. If you click on one of these territories, it will first ask you which nation you are. Here we'll say Hyrulian Kingdom. You'll never be saying NPCs, obviously, it's just there because of how the applet works. And then it shows you the list of troops in that territory belonging to that nation which are ready to move. This will obviously never include incomplete troops or incomplete inventions or things that you've already moved in this interface. So this interface also forcibly prevents you from accidentally moving the same troops more than once. Also, if we cancel that for a moment, then you'll see that now it only shows the white overlays for the territories which contain troops, movable troops, of the nation you selected. And when you click a territory, it will skip the part asking you which nation you are until the next time you start up the applet from scratch, and take you straight to the troops belonging to your nation ready to be moved. So, what you do is you go to one of the territories, click on it, click on one of the items in the list. It will add that to the list of things you want to move and instantly select the number of troops, which is initially set to the maximum number, and you can instantly type in the number you actually want to move, say 16 here, and click Move Selected Troops, and then, using the same method as in the Generate Path mode, you drag out the path you want them to move on, release. It asks you to confirm that command, and it executes it, moving the desired troops to the destination. As you can see, there's no white overlay here because these troops have already moved, and it adds an arrow to the map indicating the movement. Now, in a territory where there's more than one type of thing to move, this will usually be the case, you can click on each of the things you want to include some of, and it will add them to the list at the bottom. You type in the number you want to move, so 2 of these, then you click on another thing you want to add to the list, it adds them, and again, you click the number of those, type in the number of those you want to move, and again, move selected troops, drag out to the path, OK, and there they go. I should warn you that the applet has no knowledge of movement points, so it won't prevent you from carrying out a movement that's actually impossible for you. You'll still have to do your movement calculations yourself for now. That is one of the planned future additions to the applet. Now, there's a nice little feature you can use if you want to move lots of identical groups of troops from the same origin to lots of different destinations. Let's say you want to move 10 men-at-arms, lots of groups of 10 men-at-arms from Hyrulian Castle to elsewhere. You do the first group as normal, selected troops, move them, and then for the next group you just hold down Control as you click on Hyrulian Castle, and then you immediately drag out the path. And it automatically moves another group identical to the last one you moved, as long as that many of those troops are still available in the territory, of course. Otherwise it will just give you an error message. Also, if you move an especially large number of troops, such as all the men-at-arms here, then you'll get a larger arrow accordingly. That particular feature is really more for the static maps that this applet will be generating to be uploaded to the forums each month than for your use here, but hey. Now all these arrows can quickly clutter up the map, so there are some options in stuff to make arrows translucent. Although this obviously also makes them a bit hard to see, but that's the trade-off. Or you can alter their method of being drawn by clicking the Merge Arrows box. Which method you prefer is really up to you. Or, like the icons, you can temporarily turn them off altogether with the Show Movement Arrows option in stuff. Which you can also do by pressing A for arrows on your keyboard. There is also an undo feature for these movements. Then you can click on any of those territories and it will give you a list of all the movements going through that territory. Note that the close thing on this window won't work. You have to use the cancel button instead. But anyway, you can then pick the one you want to cancel. I'll pick the huge one in this instance, the 203 men-at-arms. Hit undo selected movement, and it undoes the movement, getting rid of that huge arrow and returning the troops to where they were originally. Alternatively... What? What? Oh. Sorry about that. For a second I thought I'd cancelled the recording and wasted the last nearly 10 minutes. Anyway, you can also undo movements from the Generate Movement interface by simply shift-clicking on any territory with a movement going through it. And that will bring up the same interface and have the same effect. So, hooray for that. And now for the most important part of all. How you get from this the text version of your movement commands ready to be pasted into your PM to me. There are two ways you can do this. You can either go to Stuff and then to Stats Generation and then scroll down to the name of your faction, immediately under which will be movement commands. Or, for those of us not too stupid to remember a keyboard command, you can just press M for movement on your keyboard, and you'll get a window containing nothing but the movement commands. So you just copy and paste them, and there you go. That wasn't so bad now, was it?